See, so yeah, this is another mixed opinion here by me, Big D from the 303. So what I'm talking about here is I'm talking about these New World Order cats. Henry Kissinger, Barack Obama, obviously Wall Street puppet. The George Bushes. Your Bilderbergers. These people that meet in secret and private. It's actually an act of treason, for world leaders like that to meet up in private like that behind, outside of the public eye, to discuss policy, it's actually an act of treason. I don't see why there's nobody standing up to these people, why nobody's saying nothing, why there isn't a bigger outcry than there is. You've seen what happened to Ron Paul when he was running for election, for the Republican nomination, how they just straight stonewalled him, because, he signified the end of the corruption. He wanted to get rid of the Fed. He wanted to punish those responsible for the treasonous acts of this country by them single-handedly trying to destroy the sovereignty and taking the freedoms of the United States people. Now, this is a big issue and a big problem here. This just cries revolution. I don't know why it's taken the American people so long to actually wake up to this situation. I can tell you why. It's got a lot to do with entertainment, and it's got a lot to do with selfishness. Americans are selfish. They don't want to help anybody. They don't want to get out of their fucking comfort zone to fucking give anybody a hand, let alone fight with their brothers in arms to protect the freedoms of this country. They send their kids off to die for these freedoms, and yet when it comes time for them to stand up and to protect these freedoms themselves, what do? It just seems like we're now in a country of cowards and not a country of men like we used to be. We used to be so quick to defend this nation and its sovereignty and its freedoms, and now it just seems like, these crooks and criminals and tyrants and these true domestic terrorists could do whatever the hell they want in this nation, and nobody's going to do anything or hold them responsible. It's just ridiculous. Do you know that you pay a 10% interest off every dollar that's printed in this country? That for every dollar that's even given, that's put into circulation in this nation, a 10% debt is already accumulated. So that means that with the printing of our own money, we're already in debt to the Fed. And we're not talking about the federal government. We're talking about international bankers who call their bank the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve Act was one of the biggest acts of treason signed into law by any president in the United States. And you see the cause of inflation, and you also see market crash, and the bubble, the bursting of bubbles and things like that. It's all created. It's all fucking engineered by these people to cause depression and fear and terror in the American public, so that they could do what they want, and they could force the American people to hand over their freedoms without a shot being fired. Now, that's pretty damn intelligent. So we're not fucking with no idiots here, man. These people they've had this plan for the last 400 to 500 years, ever since they were exposed. That one guy was exposed. Divine intervention, right? This guy was, he was actually a courier. This was in, I believe, Italy. He was bringing the actual, bringing a note between Freemasons, and they discovered this guy. The only reason they discovered him is because he got struck by lightning. Talk about divine intervention. This message never ended up there. But anyways, they ended up arresting all the Freemasons involved because of the plot that they were talking about.